like to call to order the North Oakland Transportation Board meeting. Today is Thursday, January 16, 2020. We're at the beautiful new offices here in the village of Oxford. Please pay respects to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's move on to the approval of the agenda. I know we added something on there.
Yes, approval of officers.
Yeah, the officers. Where are we putting that? New business?
10A.
Let's move that right up to 6A.
Okay.
I'll let whoever take it.
6A.
Yeah. Okay. Approval of officers. Let me just get it out of the way. Should have probably done it last month. With that, is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's move on to the minutes. Is there any questions on the minutes?
Joe and I need to read the minutes as submitted.
Moved and supported. I'm going to ask the two people's names to be taken off the roll here. We did this last month. That would be Eric Wilson and James Barnhart. Since we haven't seen them in years. With that, we've had a motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any public comment? Cody, you got any comment?
He's busy.
He's got a new phone though.
Okay, let's move on to the director's report.
Happy New Year. So overall, for 2019, we had 42,094 rides this year, which is up about 1% from last year. The total rides for Orion was 22,010, which is 52%. Oxford was 17,838, which is 42%. And Addison is 2,242, which is 5%. Our total mileage was 538,794 miles, which is up 2%. Our building, it's been a very long road, but we finally got our certificate of occupancy. We moved in our donated furniture last week, and so everything that's currently in the office right now has been donated, and so we're going to be officially moving January 25th and being operational on the 27th, Monday. The reason we pushed that back is because our epoxy floors are going to be installed next week, Monday through Wednesday. We didn't want to be in before that. We are very excited to be finally moving in. Our lease update, PYP Ventures has started to store some of their materials in Warehouse B. The improvements have just been finalized yesterday, so they have their certificate of occupancy also. So everything, all the improvements, everything's been completed. So, but they're not going to be officially moving in until April. So they're just storing their things right now. Other items, it's been a very busy time with moving, organizing. Doug's been off for a couple weeks, but he has announced that he'll be retiring at the end of May. So we'll have to start a search for his replacement very much. Our next meeting is February 20th.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to receive and file that report?
So moved. Support.
Moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm going to take a minute. Does everybody have a tour of the facility yet? Because if not, I'll take a recess for a couple minutes. Anybody want to see it? Okay, we'll move on. Approval of...
Did we do 6A?
This one we're going to be doing... Oh, no, we didn't.
Right after 7, we're going to do 6.
That's what we do it
It's now 7 minutes. Let's move on to the officers. We need some officers. Everybody jump up at once.
Do you rotate it?
To the three,
For the township supervisors?
Is there anything that shows what's available and who current?
Yes.
This is going to be a difficult one because this is an election year.
So this is the current?
Well, I'd like to nominate Bill to stay on until he officially retires.
I support that.
on the treasurer?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I move that the nomination be closed.
Man, that's
You know what we could do, is if everybody wants, we could just do the whole,
Then do the whole thing.
Yeah.
I would like Bill to be here for the party that we're going to have here for him, right?
I'm having no party.
I move to re-elect all of the current office holders to the same positions for the year 2020.
Been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll try to speed up the meeting for a little.
Yeah, you guys
Jim,
have
do better,
ready
Bill.
deals.
Let's move on to approval of the bills. Questions on the bills?
I move to approve the noted bills in the amount of $365,782.37.
Move.
Support.
Been supported by Van Cortlandt. Any questions? Roll call?
Dunn,
Yes.
Bud,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Van Portfleet.
Yes.
McDonald. Yes. Apple.
Yes.
Pearson. Yes.
Any public comment? Wait a minute. There is no financial activity. There's where we go. Will there be a motion to receive and file that?
I'll make a motion to receive and file the financial activity report.
Support.
Moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There is no old business, no new business. Officer taken care of. Public comment. Cody? Okay.
Yours, that.
Seeing none, we'll move on. Would there be a motion to receive and file the monthly rider and mileage report?
So moved.
Move. I'll support it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Board member comments. We'll start with right here.
Me? I just want to know, how are we on our finances as far as reserves? Do you have a figure? I'm looking for it.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure we have enough reserves and everything, that we're good.
Right. Yeah, our cash right now is about $750,000 right now, so
Okay.
we're in decent shapes, and then we're getting the tax rolls. And I also sent out a bill for $100,000 to the communities for governmental, and then I've got my grant billings to do, so I think we should be in good shape.
We have enough for this next year for payroll and keeping the vehicle running without any shortages.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Is that it?
That's all I have to say, but I will say you've done a terrific job. And we've been in the construction business, I don't know how many times, moving load all around, but this by far is the finest job that, that's the one I did pretty bad. But we were starting out at that time down the street, if you remember.
Yeah, but you did yours a lot cheaper.
Yeah. But this is, you've done an exceptional job. This is very, very nice, and I'm glad that you have my television up there. I didn't know when it was coming in, but that's all I have to say.
Tim?
I was in the Oxford meeting last week that Dave Coulter, our county executive, had in Oxford here with the citizens about kind of a little bit of an update on the county, and he spoke quite a bit about the mass transit efforts, tri-county and or four-county, and how it may come forward, and if it does, and so on and so forth. And we had discussions over the last week, now a couple of other people, but my point is I'm keeping an ear to it, but with a lot of concern for NODA going forward, because SMART and NODA have possible opportunities or possible demise. Not quite sure which way it would go, but we all know that that's out there and looming. And I did want to say kudos on the building. It's beautiful. Job well done.
Thank you. I did meet with some of the staff already to talk about transportation.
Yeah.
They're going to keep me in the loop, and they asked me to be part of the group for transportation. So I wanted to, because I know that that's going to be his big thing going forward, and I wanted to express our concerns that we have. And they are really looking, they're hiring a transportation advisor just for the county, and they're really, they said they want to work with you as part of that. So.
Right. I think it'll be quite a strong position they'll take in the upcoming elections.
Right.
And so they'll use that as part of their package.
Well, I've got some good news about the RTA. One thing that pissed me off with the MTA, which is Michigan Township Association, they took a neutral stance on the RTA. Why in the world would they do that when everybody affected, you know what I mean, it's going to be for the cities and villages.
They just changed it.
I know, that's what I'm going to announce.
Okay, got it.
That's what I'm going to announce. And it really made me mad, you know, because the ones that are being hurt are going to be the townships. And for the MTA to just take our money and come up with some wimpy take no stance, well, they changed their mind. Now they're going to support it as long as there is an opt-out or, you know, some other mechanisms where, you know, we don't have to join it. So at least it's a good step. And I think RTA is starting to get the word that we're getting real mad out here. And we're not going to take it anymore.
OCAS, we
I was
just,
not at OCAS.
we have a petition that went with every single township supervisor signing that they were not in favor of this House bill. So, and we are not in favor of even lowering the percentage for us, okay? You know, because they can go up to 5 mils. I just did, I didn't bring it with me, but I have a calculation of how it's going to be billions of dollars that's going to come out of this area here. And we did a whole analysis over the 20-year term. It's billions that's going to come out of here, and they have no transportation idea up for the township areas. It's all it's all for the cities. But so we did pass a resolution, and it did go to them, and we have a whole committee that's calling Lansing, and I think we're making headway now. So.
Each township's also put in a resolution too. Unfortunately, last month I got the resolution the day before our meeting, and there's no way we're going to get it on there, but it is going to be on this next agenda for us to sign and forward it on.
And that's House Bill 5229. And one of the interesting considerations is that if it does get passed, the vote will be carried by the southern portion of the county that's heavily populated, where the northern portion up here where we are will still bear the financial burden, but we won't have as much say-so at the polls. So it's going to be one to watch. It's going to be really important. Everybody's got good knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday's open press is on the front page here. It's been all over Facebook too, you 21 supervisors signed that resolution. Yeah. I just want to give you an update on why Chris Barnett's. He finally got back yesterday from China.
He was at the meeting today.
Yeah, and I had told the deputy supervisor last night in the meeting, I said, tell Chris, don't worry about this NODA meeting, I'm attending.
Why don't you just announce what happened so everybody doesn't...
His sister come down with almost a death virus over in China.
She was in China, the whole
Yeah, she
family went over there to...
work. Yeah. And so she's been in a 10-day induced coma, so. I know Chris was in Florida over the holidays, and as soon as he left Florida, him and his brother got to Chicago and
Off to China.
to China, yeah. So,
Sounds like it was a real miracle that she's turned around, because it was pretty bad.
So on behalf of Chris, on all the prayers and stuff, I appreciate that, the
We
family.
pass it along, you know, from all of us.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's it.
Mike?
I want to thank the outgoing officers and welcome the ingoing. They've done a great job for it. No, seriously, you guys have done a great job, and it is appreciated. And you got a great staff, executive director has a great staff, and I agree with the comments on the facility. As far as the RTA goes, House Bill 5229 would gut the ability of, even if Oakland, the real answer is for Oakland County to get out. It's not to stay in. Under the circumstances where all they're going to have is a bus route up Woodward to Pontiac, for the first 5 years or longer, there is, as you all know, there's no future for Oakland County except to pay for this. And with the passage of that bill, the millage cap would be 5 mills, which is horrendous. And would probably be the best thing to happen if the word gets out to the public that they're about to pay for that. But as Ken indicated, if under that bill, three counties, if 2 counties vote for it, it's a done deal. So the Village of Leonard did pass a resolution also in opposition, and we have circulated it to the involved parties as well. And I urge anybody, any community that hasn't, to do so.
I would think, with a $100,000 home, that's a $500 a year hit.
Yep.
Right now, the conversation is from our county executive is they erred and they don't intend to do 5 mills. It will be much less than that, but I'm not so sure what year 2 or year 3 would be. So once they get that 5 mills, if it were to truly be that, then the door's open.
Well, they went for 1.2 mills and they had all of Macomb County in it. They've come back with this plan, which basically mirrors the original plan. So 1.2 mills is not going to make it for what they want to do. The light rail system and all of that is expensive, and that's where an amazing amount of that money will go.
I'm surprised they're not just taking it, by phases, to maybe go from Detroit to
If they had done that, Bill,
West Bloomfield. I mean, then, sit on, then when that gets all established,
Right.
then kind of maybe work out another little ways.
it's not a comprehensive plan. It is a focused plan on Maine and Ann Arbor and that area, and it doesn't even profess to address transportation needs north of the Wayne County line, quite honestly.
This is where the money's at, and you have to have the money, and it's at our expense.
So once again, Oakland County is going to be the ones.
And I think we should be pressuring Mr. Coulter,
Yeah.
because that is the major sticking point for us. I heard he did pay his water bill though today, so that's a good thing. Taking care of, well, you had a $500 water bill that's been outstanding since November, and he finally paid it, so. Quite an
RTA
example.
water bill, RTA
Yeah,
water
yeah.
bill.
Is that it, Mike?
That's it. Sorry, Bill.
Paycheck.
Mr. Chairman, I went on, I apologize.
No, you can go on.
I'm just incensed about this.
You and a lot of people.
I think we are all incensed about this, and I think, just keeping abreast and keeping up on what's going on. We had Rosemary, what's her last name? Bear, at their board meeting this month, and she talked somewhat about it, and she said she doesn't foresee it happening anytime very soon. She said there's still a lot going on with that, so she doesn't see that as something that's going to happen very soon. However, we don't know. I think we're all upset about it, and we just need to keep, a finger in the pie. Beautiful place. Lynn, you did a great job. So, and Happy New Year, everyone.
I was just going to say that the place looks really nice. I love the floors. Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
I was trying to think of something else to talk about. Oh, wait. What is this room going to be for? This is
This
for...
is a driver's room?
So
so
there'll
this
be
is like-
benches, there'll be just places like a
Yeah.
lunchroom?
Not the lunchroom.
Basically a lunchroom? Okay. And a great job on putting this together.
How many vehicles do we have in our fleet now?
We have 22.
22.
They'll all fit in here?
No, but it'll be interesting to see how many we can get. We'll have to play around with it.
What's it- I was gonna ask how many will fit, do you know?
We're not exactly sure.
By seniority.
Yes, and so we've
The
tossed
older
around
ones are
some
gonna be
different ideas. And we've also tossed if we brought all of them in, and, you know, our drivers like to have certain vehicles, you know, we could say whatever's up front, that's what one you take and go, which, you know, we'll have to see. We'll have to play it all by ear.
Is there a parking spot out there for employee of the month? Or-
That's inside.
Now, will you have do you have a ventilation system out
We do.
there?
The CO detectors and then.
Everything's in place, or we wouldn't be here.
Oh, I've worked under those.
I will make a nice comment that I saw the Oxford Leader today, and Bill wrote an absolutely excellent letter to the editor, I believe, and there was an excellent editorial in there, or actually news from one of the reporters. Absolutely excellent, and I have to say that he's done an exceptionally good job. Because I was here a long time ago, how the government was running on.
It was kind of ugly.
That's what a difference.
Margie remembers Outback and all
Oh,
those.
yes. Way too many late nights.
I remember working out of a pole barn for our fire department.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's why I asked
pole
about
barn.
ventilation, because I had carbon monoxide in my office almost daily.
I know.
You raised the bar for the rest of us now.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved and supported?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.